Hello and welcome to this Minecraft tutorial with me, Groover. Now this is a design for my Bedrock Edition fungus farm. Very simple, pretty efficient, pretty early game, good output, all of the nice things. So let's have a quick look at this thing in action. As you can see, we've got the collection going on down here, and we've got the bone meal going out down here. We've got the on switch here, which if we switch it on, you'll see everything starts happening. Whoops. All of the stuff starts going in. And then once you feel like you've got enough there, you just need to switch it off. And it's just going to push all of those items up to the front into that hopper. Nice and neat. And you can either wait for them to filter through in the hopper, or you can grab them up manually just by jumping up on there. As you can see, it's pretty fast. It's going to get you a lot of stuff going on, and you don't need to have any hopper minecart collection system or complex stuff like that. This is just a little bit of redstone and some basic pistons. Nothing too much at all. Right, so let's go and have a look at exactly what you're going to need to build this farm. Right, to build this farm, you're going to need these items. An assortment of redstone. Not too much, just enough. A couple of buckets of water. Some non-solid blocks. I mean, these ones really just mean any block. It doesn't matter. These ones mean solid blocks. And then these ones are specifically the two types of helium. And of course, a couple of chests down there as well. And of course, a ready supply of bone meal. Right, so the first thing you need to do is decide where you want the output to be. Now, that is going to be going into a chest, just like this here. Basically, this is your walk-up level. And we're going to place into the back of that chest a hopper. And then behind that, we're going to place in 4 pieces of helium. It doesn't matter what type. We're going to build this up properly in a few moments. This is just to give you an idea of the shape of things. And then you're going to have a dropper facing in like that. So that's what you're going to be starting off with. Now next, we're going to have a dropper, a dispenser even, facing upwards into there. And then we're going to get a hopper line going from here all the way into there. So this is going to be how we feed in our bone meal. And then we're going to place a chest on top of that, facing a different way to keep them separate. Now from there, we're going to place on top of the hopper line a different colour of helium. So you've now got your two halves kind of divided right there. And then we're going to place out 1, 2, 3 in this direction with one type, and then 3 in the other direction with the other. Okay, so that's what you should now have. Right, now that we've got that, we need to add in the pistons that are going to push it forward. Now, if you can see the middle line right here, we're going to go to the left of the middle line from the back, and we're going to place in these like that, just solid blocks. Because nothing can grow on there, but we're going to make sure that we're not losing any drops down the sides. And then directly facing onto that, we're going to place in the pistons facing this way. Just like that. All 4 of them. Now on the opposite side, we're going to do something similar, but we're going to place the pistons a little bit further back, mainly because we've got to have them to be able to push into something. Because this is where the dispenser is going to be dispensing, it dispenses a 3 sort of in each direction around it. So it's going to get to there, so if we push it across there, it's going to get more of the red than it does the blue. So basically, just like this. Okay, so that's what you should now have. Right, now that we've done that, we need to build up a wall all the way around this thing to make sure that any of the drops don't get lost around the edges. So we're going to use the glass. You can use whatever block you like here, but I kind of like glass, so we're doing the glass. Just to come around the edges like this. We're going to have to remove a little bit of it soon. What we're actually doing is we're placing it just in front of the pistons. Because when the pistons are extended, we're still going to catch those things, and when they're contracted, the items are going to get pushed back into the middle. So we're going to go all the way around this, and we're going to build it up by 2. Now, right over this one, we need to leave that one clear. And then we're going to come straight over the top, just like that. So you've got a little hole where the items are going to collect. Okay, so this is what you should now have. Next, we're just going to pop in the dispensers, which are going to dispense the water. And they're going to go into the corners just like that. Right, so next up we need to come around the back, and we're going to put in a little circuit here which is going to make sure that the bone meal gets dispensed upwards. So on top of the hopper right here, we're going to have an observer facing straight out with a block on the back. And then we're going to get another observer, we're going to face that straight down, just like that. And then we're going to place a solid block there and any old block here. And on top of that we're going to place redstone, and on top of that we're going to place redstone. So what's going to happen is every time the floor shifts, it's going to create an update which is going to make sure that this one is getting hard powered and this one's getting soft powered, which should mean that you should get a piece of bone meal going up into this to get fired out. But because of the rate of bone meal being dispensed, we want to make it a bit faster, so we're adding in another observer to catch halfway through to try and push an extra piece of bone meal up into here to make sure we've always got bone meal in this place. Okay? Right, now that we've got that, we need to make sure that basically everything's going to push and pull and dispense all at the right time. So, first things first is we need to build up just a little bit of extra stuff right here. Just like that. So, it doesn't have to be glass, but I just prefer it. So, redstone on there. This is going to make sure that we get a comparator clock working. Just like this. So, you're going to have redstone like that. And that is a really fast little clock. Very, very simple. And when you switch this off, the clock's going to stop. So that's what's going to push the pistons. And basically it's just going to spam the pistons with redstone updates and make sure that they're always pushing. So from there, we can come out in this direction like this. And then we're going to have a solid block right here. We're going to place the redstone back on top of there. And then we're going to have a torch right there. And then there we can have a solid block, any old block you like, it doesn't matter. And then we're just going to run this redstone all the way over that. Okay? And then going in the opposite direction, we're going to come down like this. And then across like that. Now, if I switch that off, it should synchronize up, which is what we want. Okay, and you can hear the dispensers all clicking away and doing their thing. Right, next is needed a pulse extender, which is going to make sure that when we send a pulse in this direction, whilst this is on, you only get one pulse. So it's going to turn this pulse spam into a single on-off pulse for these dispensers. Okay, so we're going to place an extra block right there, then a repeater right there like that. Then we're going to have a little shape like this going on and then coming back round. So we're going to have a comparator on there. Then we're going to have redstone on like that. That is now what you should have. So this run's just being extended off in that direction into a comparator, and into that comparator it's going to go straight into a solid block just like that. Now on top of there we're going to place a torch. Now just to prove the theory, we're going to switch this on. And you see that torch? It only went off. And when I flick that again, it'll come back on, which is perfect. So now that I've got an on-off switch, I just need to turn that into a solid pulse. So we're going to place a observer facing straight into there. And then we can place a solid block onto that. And we're just going to replace this with a solid block. And this with a solid block. Okay, so that's what we've now got. And all that we need is redstone, redstone, and then all the way across with redstone. Now that this is in the off position, we're going to place in the water buckets and the bone meal. Okay, so bone meal into there. That's going to flow all the way to the back. Now, the thing with the buckets is, what we want them to do is, we want them to do the opposite to what we've got set up. So we want to place the water out like that and an empty bucket in there. Okay. So empty bucket into there. And then same with this one. Empty bucket, water. Now, as you'll see, The water is going to flow all the way up to the hopper right here. I've placed in a load of bone meal. That's going to slowly make its way over to the back here into this dropper. So you can see that one slowly filling up. And we should have enough in there to give this a try. So let's go. I'm going to give it a couple of moments to do its thing. I would never advise running this for too long, just because you don't want to overload this hopper. And if this hopper gets overloaded, you're kind of in trouble. So then I'm going to switch that back off, and then the water's going to dispense, gather up all of the items, and send them to the hopper. And as you'll see, a few items are going to stand on top of the hopper there, whilst they filter down through. Normally it's fine. If you're worried about that, you can just grab them up yourself. But as you can see, we've got 24 red and 18 green, which is roughly equal. So you get roughly the same amounts from this of both mushrooms, plus all of the other stuff that we can't quite get rid of. Right, and there we go. That is your rather simple fungus farm, all organised. You're going to get approximately the same quantities of both colours of fungus in here, and it's just going to produce as fast as you like. So, there we go. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you did, of course, please do leave a like. And if you want to see some more, drop me a subscribe. And I hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.